I think most of us are fundamentally concerned about the future. And it doesn't make a lot of difference whether we're an optimist or a pessimist. Most people, I think, would agree today that we don't really know what's going to happen. But I think one of the things that makes the biggest difference in terms of how well we go forward and how successful or unsuccessful we're going to be is how much confidence do we have? How much confidence do we have in ourselves? How much confidence do we have in our systems? How much confidence do we have in our communities? And do we believe deep down that we have whatever it's going to take to succeed? I know a lot of people sort of live in a mood of hope that things are going to work out. But hope is a fairly difficult mood to be in because you really aren't responsible. It's kind of like keeping your fingers crossed, but there's no you in that. It leaves you as a kind of observer on the sideline, wanting it to work, but really having no way of relating to what's happening in a way that changes anything. If I ask you, how much confidence do you have in your financial future? How much confidence do you have in your relationships? How much confidence do you have in your sense of governance and politics? How much confidence do you have in the environment's going to work out? You know, when I talk to people, I find a lot of people are afraid, or they're living in some state of anxiety, or they're dispirited in one way or another. They're either depressed on one end or just anxious on another end. I find more and more people are becoming spectators, you know, watching the news and then having discussions about whether they agree or disagree with the news. And then you exacerbate that with a lot of the complexity that's occurring around, let's just say, the media in general. And where do you go to get reliable information? And then what do you do with it when you have it? You know, and whether you're trying to build a portfolio for retirement or whether you're trying to have children, no matter what you're doing in life, you're always in a kind of dance with the future. And most people are trying to manage that dance by having some sense of agency, by having some sense of control over their environment and what's happening. And it's my judgment that I think most people are becoming more and more conscious that they don't have much choice, that they don't have much control, and that life is increasingly feeling like it's happening to us rather than we are generating life. And so I'm trying to give people a kind of place to stand, to think about who they are and think about their relationship to the future, and to be aware that they actually have many, many choices that they're not even aware they have. So I don't believe we have a lot of choice about what happens, but I'm absolutely confident that we have a choice in how we relate to what's happening. And so what existential confidence is really about is who you are, and do you trust yourself, and do you have the presence to be able to make choices about how you relate to what's going on. So whether what's happening is good or whether what's happening is bad, that you're not reacting to life, you're not reacting to circumstances, but that you're able to remain centered, calm, serene, relatively at peace in the middle of a storm, if it's a storm. Or you can also relax into and celebrate the highs and the miracles that are happening around us every day. So the more we can be able to exercise that choice muscle, and the more we can confront that whether you and I are sufficient or not sufficient is a matter of interpretation and commitment. It is not a function of some characteristics that we're born with or something physical in the world. That existential confidence has to do with our relationship to life, with our relationship to circumstances, and our capacity to navigate in this changing world that's becoming so unpredictable and so potentially threatening if we're not confident.